Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy. I'm back again with another video for you, a very special video, because today I'm going to do something I haven't done on my channel ever. So for the first time, I am going to promote a brand new knife maker that I met. His name is Pieter Swanepole. I believe I pronounced that correctly. It's actually spelled Pieter, Pieter, which is actually the Dutch spelling of his name, but you actually pronounce it Pieter in English. So his name is Pieter Swanepole. He is a custom knife maker from South Africa. Very, very unique knife maker. I have never seen knives quite like his. They are very different in my eyes. He's a fantastic custom knife maker, if you ask me. He is just starting. He's just starting out. His real expertise is more in kitchen knives. But in the last, I'm guessing in the last couple of years, I'm sure Peter's going to correct me on this, he started making folders, and one of the most popular sellers is a knife called the Evolver, and I'm going to show you that piece right now, and here it is. So this is the Pieter Swanepole Evolver knife, made by hand, completely by hand. The knife is, the parts for this knife, they're all water jet, but then everything else is shaped by hand by him. And he has several variations of this knife. You can check it out on his website, Swanepole Designs on Instagram. You can check out all of his stuff. I came across this piece at AfricanKnives.com, and I was looking through the website. I was seeing, a lot of Andre Thorburn, some of my favorites. I believe Prince Lou was on there. All these, fairly well-known, Trevor Berger, all these fairly well-known knife makers sell their knives on AfricanKnives.com. And then I came across a name I'd never seen before, which I thought his name was pronounced Pieter, but actually, again, it's Pieter Swanepole. And he had a bunch of fixed blades on his site. You can see it now at AfricanKnives.com. He had a bunch of fixed blades on that site that he was selling, that he is still selling. This piece here was on the website. I purchased it on his website. It cost me $5.50, and I'm going to be honest with you, it is worth every freaking penny. I'm going to get into this knife in a minute, but I want to talk about Pieter for a little bit. His designs are just completely unique. First of all, this is a very big deal for me as far as collecting a custom. This is my very first. The reason I came across him was because I was looking for a frame lock custom piece, and I didn't see any on AfricanKnives.com, but this was the one that I saw. And when I saw it, it really caught my eye. I was like, my God, that thing is pretty freaking sleek. It's pretty freaking awesome looking. So I saw it, and I noticed that it wasn't as pricey as the other knives on AfricanKnives.com. I took a chance, I bought it. And when I got the knife, it was a little tight. I couldn't even flip it out. It turned out I needed a little oil. So I put a little oil on it, and the freaking thing is as smooth as silk now. I mean, look at this thing. It is just fantastic. So this knife is all titanium, made by hand, by Pieter Swanepole. It's got an acid wash blade on it, as you could see. So this is a perfect user. Not only is it custom, but you can use the hell out of it and not worry about scratching up the blade, because the blade is already scratched, which I love. I love that, that it's already scratched up, and, like one more scratch on it, who's going to care, right? Just looks freaking awesome. The handle is, all titanium. The entire knife is titanium. It runs on Teflon washers. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Teflon washers, and you can see his name right there on the knife, Swanepole. right there. Um, if you're not familiar with Teflon washers, one of the main sellers of Teflon washers is that they're very, very durable. Unlike phosphor bronze washers, which require a lot of maintenance because, after a while, you have to realize that phosphor bronze washers, they produce friction because of the heat. They produce friction, which would produce heat and would eventually, the phosphor bronze washers might the phosphor bronze washers, they do not produce heat. They do not have any friction on them. Sorry about that. I got a little carried away. Some pop-ups on my iPhone here, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the Teflon washers, they don't produce heat, so they're very, very durable. They don't require much maintenance, and that's probably one of the main reasons why a lot of knife makers use Teflon washers as opposed to phosphor bronze. But other people prefer phosphor bronze. Myself, after experiencing Teflon washers, I could go either way. I mean, I think I still do prefer phosphor bronze washers just because that's what I'm used to. But to be honest with you guys, there's nothing wrong with Teflon washers. They're very durable. In fact, a lot of people can't think of any negatives when using Teflon washers. So, it's just another way to go when you're making a knife. So let's talk about the design of this knife for a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. The smoothness on this knife, in my opinion, after a while, it feels a lot smoother than my Spartaco Swish Bowie. Okay, I hate to say that, but it's true. I was very surprised at just putting a little oil on it and the way that it pops out. It is an amazingly smooth knife. I was very, very surprised at that. That was the biggest thing, because action's my thing, actually. Everybody's, into something on knives. Some guys like the blade shape, some guys like the handle, other guys are into the grip. For me, it's always the action that gets me, and the action on this knife is pretty incredible. And the fact that it doesn't run on ball bearings, I love. It's a very sleek, almost futuristic design, but then it's got that rustic quality to it. Like it's something that you just found on the ground, but yet it's still fairly brand new. I mean, you can feel it in the action. You can feel the way it handles. Very, very sleek design. The ergos on this are absolutely incredible. I think Swanepole or Pieter actually hit it on the nail with the ergos on this, because I love it. I really do. The lock bar itself, you would think, is quite fragile, but actually it's not. It's a pretty damn sturdy one. For a titanium knife, I found it quite interesting that it's fairly flexible, and yet it's not. It doesn't seem to need a lock bar stabilizer, or, like a hinderer disc or something, right there. Because you can see how long the knife is, right? It's a fairly long knife. You would think that you would have something there, like maybe an over-travel stop or something, but after using it after a while, it doesn't really need it. It looks like it doesn't need it, so it's one of those knives where, less is more, and that's why it works. The only downside of the knife that I can see is that it requires a special tool to take it apart. You're going to need two of them, which is $15 each, so it's $30 for the tool. But then again, you have to think of it this way. You're talking about a custom knife, guys. We're not talking about a production piece that was made off of an assembly line. Okay, this one was actually made by an actual artist. The guy put his blood, his sweat, his tears into this thing, and he does this for a living. So I can't really complain. The fact that the guy made this with his own two hands is not an experience that I get from a production piece. And you can tell when you flip it, you can tell when you feel it, you can tell just by using it. I've actually cut with it quite a few times since I've gotten it. It's just a fantastic performer, as well as a beautiful piece of art. I would definitely suggest check if you're looking to get custom knives, and I've said this before over and over again. If you're looking to make that step into the custom world, and you're maybe getting a little bit tired of your Benjamins, maybe you're getting tired of your Spartacos, your CRKTs, or whatever it is that you might be into, and you're looking to get something a little bit more different, completely different experience, you feel you're ready for that, Yes, $550 is very expensive for a knife. If you're a beginning knife collector, it does take some getting used to the amount of money that you're spending. But then once you get one of these knives in your hand from an actual knife maker, you're going to begin to understand why we spend so much money for what we do, because you are paying for the personality of the human being that made the knife. That's what you're paying for. You know, that's what you pay for when you buy a Chris Reeve. Even though his knives are made mostly by machine, you're still paying for that from Chris Reeve. You're still paying for that guarantee. And the guy, all knife makers are looking to do that for you. For you. They're looking to get their name out there. And that's pretty much where Pieter is at the moment. So at the moment, if you were to shop on his Instagram page, a lot of his knives have already been sold. The guy is now building up a repertoire of work. I'm doing this video to get his work promoted because he actually does not have any videos of anybody promoting him. I wanted to be the first, and I'm going to be honest with you, I consider it an honor for a beginning knife maker to be promoting a beginning knife maker like this gentleman. I just think he's really, really, really talented. You can't really see it in this lighting, but the knife has sort of like a purplish color over here, some gold up here, sort of accented in the middle here. It's not all the same gray color that you're looking at. He did put a little pizzazz on it. And if you check out his Instagram page, Swanepole Designs, you're going to see all the cool things he's doing. Not all of his knives look like this. This is the more rustic design. That the knife, which is his more basic knife. The steel itself is very, very popular. I'm assuming it's very popular in South Africa. It's N690, not used too often here in the United States. I believe Benchmade's got a couple of knives made in that steel. It is a good steel. Okay, it's a good steel. Obviously, way better than a low grade. It's not exactly a low grade steel, but it's not exactly a super steel. It is somewhere between CPM 154. Maybe it's a little bit higher than CPM 154. I'd have to check my knife chart. But the steel is definitely up there. And in South Africa, they tend to use that steel quite a lot. So right now, Pieter is mostly doing frame locks. I'm sure in the future he's going to be doing liner locks soon. He's already done front flippers. In fact, the guy is currently making a front flipper at the moment. I don't want to say for me, but it is waiting for me, and he's still making it. I can't wait to get a hold of it. You're going to want to check out his website. You're going to want to meet this guy. You're going to want to talk with him. His prices are reasonable. You don't want to lowball this guy. I would never, ever consider doing that. I mean, if the guy says the knife costs $450, I'm going to pay $450. Of course, I'll ask for a deal, but this guy's an artist like everybody else. I mean, this guy puts his blood, his sweat, his tears into it. He's still like, I promised the guy I wouldn't go overboard with giving him so many accolades because he is still learning how to be a knife maker. But I think that all of us knife buying public, we want to support people like him, So this is a video that basically says to Pieter, way to go, man. Keep going, keep doing it. You're doing fantastic work. I really can't wait to see what he's going to do in the future. I'm going to be a forever follower of this guy. I consider him now not exactly a super close friend, but I'm going to say he's a friend. We're now a little more than acquaintances, especially since the guy's holding a knife for me, and he's actually making one for me right now as we're making this video. I'm very excited. That's another experience that I have not had yet. So I've talked about this in my last video. Your hobby is going to take you to places that you never thought you'd ever thought possible. You guys got to keep in mind, 6 years ago, again, I've said it before, I was one of these people not making videos, just watching videos on YouTube of pretty knives and thinking, I'm never going to get there. And while I haven't arrived, I'm getting there as a collector. I'm learning about knives. I'm purchasing knives. We all of us knife nuts know what that's like. And that's why we make these YouTube videos. We want to share the experience. And I wanted to share my experience introducing this young gentleman of 37 years old, you know, making knives. Like I said, he used to make kitchen knives. That's pretty much what his expertise was in. He's now getting into folders. From talking with this guy, he sounds like he's really enjoying it. In fact, I'm pretty sure he is, because he's, you know, how many people get to wake up every day and do what they love to do? Not just get a paycheck, but actually do what they love to do. So this knife you can check out on his Instagram page. It comes in different variations. Once again, it's called the Evolver. Now, my knife is actually numbered. I don't know if you can even see the number, but mine is actually number 43. I don't know how many out of 43 that he made. I do know this much. This knife is only one of 2 acid-washed knives that he made. The rest of them were different, but he only made 2 of these acid-wash ones, and I got one of them from AfricanKnives.com. So you're going to want to check out that site, although a lot of the knives on that site now are kind of sold. They range anywhere from, $150 to, way over, like, $1,800 for knives on that site. But there's definitely going to be something there that you can afford if you're ready to step up to the plate and start buying customs. And also definitely check out this guy's work on Instagram. See what's available. I don't know what's available. I'm not an expert on Instagram, so I don't know how to maneuver there. They had an auction for one of his clip point knives, and I didn't make it. Somebody else bought it. And that's when he said, well, you know, I'm going to make a knife for you anyway, so don't worry about it. You'll definitely own another one from me. And I really can't wait to get that knife, because you're going to, of course, you know, I'm going to do a video on that one. That one's going to be a front flipper. And, you know, it's going to be a small front flipper. I really can't wait to get it, So that's it. This is Pieter Swanepole. Check him out on Instagram if you're looking for a new experience or you want to meet somebody new. Meet this guy. He's a sweet, sweet man. He makes really sweet knives. He loves what he does. He's very enthusiastic about his work. I'm very happy to make this video for him. And I do hope to see all you guys on Instagram saying hello to him. There's already a bunch of us followers, you know, talking with them and trying to get some information from him, trying to buy knives from him when they're available. You go on a site, though, everything's like sold, it's sold, it's sold, it's sold. You know, that's what happens when you're good at what you do, you know. If you go on his website and nothing's sold, that means that the guy can't be that great, right? But, you know, he actually said, you know, don't make me look too good. You know, I'm still kind of learning my craft. So he's a very modest guy when you talk to him, and that's pretty much how you want all the people that are artists to be. You want them to stay modest, and he is. He's a very modest guy. He's a very nice guy. I'm so happy to meet him and so happy to call him as a friend. So, Peter, if you're out there, your video is complete. I talked about your work a little bit. I talked about who you are. I hope you're happy with this video. I know I was excited to do it for you. You know, so for all my fans out there and that are Knife Shark followers, I hope I didn't ramble on too long. I know I tend to have a tendency to do that. Although this video is under 30 minutes, so you guys really can't complain, because my last 2 videos were like 35 minutes. So anyhow, this is Omar, the Knife Shark guy. I'm not going to sign off yet. Let me do some size comparisons so you guys can get a chance to see what the size of the knife is. So, real quickly, here it is up against the Spyderco Swiss Bowie. Sorry about that, guys. There's the knife up against the Spyderco Swiss Bowie, right? Here it is up against my Chris Reeve Nkosi. And my brand new blue Umnumzon. Why not show the blue guy off again? Love to do that. By my very good friend Troy. Troy who did that. Check that out, man. His Instagram page is TWS777. So there it is up against the Umnumzon. And finally, the boring ZT0900. So it's a medium-sized knife. The blade size is 3.3 inches. I'm going to say. It runs on Teflon washers for that nice smooth action. Believe me, this knife is smooth. You can operate the knife with either the flipper. I've got a cut on this finger, so I can't do it. You can operate it with the flipper. I forgot to do all this, so I guess the video ran a little bit longer than I want to. You can do it with the flipper, right? Which is very smooth. You can also use the hole, which is what I use to open the knife. You can either middle finger flick it, right? I'm a big flipper person, so I like a lot of varieties to flip a knife. I'm into that. You can also flick it out with your thumb, but be aware it's not a straight up action. It's more of an outward thumb action, and it'll pop right out. But don't think you can do this straight up like the Blur or any of the other ones. It's the way that the hole was made there. Interesting design choice, by the way, which I like. So, as far as looks, yes, the knife is very minimalist, but it's still got a lot of class to it, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, one of the great things about this knife is that it's very rustic. You don't have to worry about scratching it up. You don't have to worry about dinging it. I mean, the thing looks freaking awesome. It's like you just found this on the road somewhere, right? Picked it up and it's nice and smooth. So that's pretty much what it feels like. That's what people like to have, is a custom knife that is almost an illusion, you know. So there you have it, the Pieter Swanepole Evolver. If you buy it on the AfricanKnives.com site, because it's called the Evolver, this does not come from Pieter. I'm guessing they included this because it didn't have a certificate of authenticity, but Pieter's going to get me my certificate of authenticity for this knife. And if you buy a knife from him on his website, he's going to get you that certificate of authenticity, no problem. It's just that I bought mine on AfricanKnives.com, not to dog AfricanKnives.com, but when I talked to him, he said it should have included the certificate, so he's kind of surprised that it didn't, but he doesn't blame anybody for that. That's just something that happens. So, you know, they included the Tyrannosaurus Rex for the Evolver. It also comes with a case. This is the case that comes in a really sweet case. So you get that with the knife as well. So you get a case actually with all the knives that you get from AfricanKnives.com. So you want to be aware of that as well. So that's it. That's all I have to say, really. I don't know what more to say. Pieter's a swell guy. I hope you guys spend some time on Instagram looking for him. Again, his website on Instagram, it's Swanepole or Swanepole Designs on Instagram. You can check him out there. He is usually on every once in a while. He doesn't answer you right away, but he will eventually answer you. So, you know, don't fret. He's just a busy guy working on his knives. So, you know, you got to give the guy a little break. He's definitely an artist. So there you go. The Pieter Swanepole. There's his name. That's how you spell it. Right there. Pieter Swanepole Evolver. And you can purchase this on his website. You cannot purchase any more on AfricanKnives.com because I bought the last one. So you're probably better off purchasing directly from him because you get to meet the guy and talk with them. And he'll tell you what he's got available. I go on like I said, I'm not an expert on Instagram, so I don't know what's sold, what's not sold. All I know is you got to talk to him, and he'll let you know what he has available. And, you know, I can't guarantee he'll make a deal with you, you know, because when you meet somebody new, you know, if they don't like you, you know, they're probably not going to offer you anything. But, you know, if they do like you, you never know. So I got lucky. Our personalities tend to fit. So, you know, he said, yeah, I'd love to make something for you. So he is currently making a front flipper for me right now. I can't wait to do a video on that. And I hope you guys get to check him out and his work. One more time, how about a shot of the knife? This represents the man's sweat, blood, and tears. Right? The Pieter Swanepole Classic Evolver Knife. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, hoping you'll find this piece of sharp art in your collection, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video, which will probably be next week. I got a bunch of videos coming up for you. So for today, you're going to be stuck with these two because I've got a lot of stuff to go over with you guys. A lot of things have happened, so don't mean to let this video run long, but once again, this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off. Check out Pieter Swanepole at swanepoledesigns.com on Instagram. Guy's a really sweet man, so check out his work, check him out, say hello to him, say, hey, Omar recommended me to you, I want to check out your knives, and, you know, next thing you know, you'll be buying one of his knives and doing a video like I am. So one knife at a time, guys, one knife at a time. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.